Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your Manisha and I'm again back with a new video which is the most demanding topic and the request I got from the student in the last few days that they are struggling to solve the payoff question especially from the section C1. So I'm here with the new video on the same topic. So watch the video till end. I hope after watching this video you will have a clarity, and not only that, this question is mentioned in the Kaplan kit as well, and you will find the same in the examiner report. So by the end of this video we will look the examiner report for this particular question and read out the examiner comment where the student did the mistake, how they analyze the question, everything. So stay tuned with this video till end. We will have those we will cover those part in this video. Okay, so here is the question, Keytone company, and this one is from the payoff table. So question is like, Keytone company is recently established business specializing in the manufacture of a range of products for the fitness and the health food market. It has recently developed a new product, protein power, which is almost ready to launch. Keytone company estimate that demand will be between 3,000 to 4,000 units per month. So demand of this new product will be between 3,000 to 4,000. All right. Then what the question is saying, but protein power can only be manufactured in the batches of 500 units. For the Keytone must decide whether to manufacture 3,000, 3,500 or 4,000 units. See, so basically up to this paragraph, the question is saying that the company is about to launch one of its new product, and the name of the product is protein power. And but the thing is, they have estimated the demand will be between 3,000 to 4,000, but it can only be manufactured in the batch of like 500 units. So in one lot they can produce 500 units, and therefore they have decided to manufacture 3,000, 3,500 and 4,000, right? So if they manufacture 3,000, that means how much batch they will produce? 6 batch. And similarly for the 3,500, 7. And for 4,000, 8 batch. So in this way they will produce the protein power. Given the short sell life of protein power, any units remaining unsold at the end of each month must be thrown away and have no scrap value. See, this line is very, very important, and just understand for now that suppose we have produced 5,000 units. 4,000 units, but we are not able to sold fully because demand was less. So in that case, whatever the remaining unit is, it have no scrap value. There is no residual value for the remaining unsold unit at the end of each month. And how this sentence is important, I will show you while performing the calculation. But just for now, just understand that if I will produce the 4,000 unit, but if my demand is 3,000 only, in that case 1,000 unsold unit will have no value. It will have a no scrap value, right? So now they have provided the variable production cost of making 1 unit. So 1 unit of protein power required direct material which cost 6.20 and labor 2.70, variable overhead 1.35. Protein power will be Protein power will be processed on the machine X. Every time the machine is set up for the new batch of 500 units, it must be cleaned and inspected at the total cost of 240. Means for one batch 240 inspection cost is incurring. So if we are producing more than one batch, in that case this cost will also increases accordingly, right? So in addition to above production cost, Keytone company incurs selling and distribution cost of 0.90 for every unit sold. So apart from these costs, they will also incurring the selling and distribution cost, which is 0.90 for every unsold unit, every sold unit, I mean. Okay. So Keytone company has launched only one other similar product, and based on the information from that launch has estimated the probability associated with its demand level for the protein powder as follow. So now they have also provided the probability, and in case of probability, please make sure that this all percentage should be equal to 1 or equal to 100. If they, in this question they have clearly mentioned this is a probability, but in some case it may not, right? So that means we have to use expected value as well. So for demand level, 3 demand level, they have attached the probability. Okay. Now, however, the whilst the Keystone company believes that it could achieve a selling price of 35 per unit for protein power to sell up to 3500 unit, it would need to charge a lower selling price for 33 per unit for all units sold to achieve the sales volume above this. Means up to 3500 unit, our selling price is 35 per unit, but above that means if we are selling more than 3500, in that case selling price will be 33 per unit. All right. The managing director is very risk averse and is concerned that probability noted above may not be accurate. She has been in discussion with the local market research company who has offered to provide for a fee of 100% accurate information about the actual demand level for the protein power. So I think there could be a question of like perfect information, something like that. So let's go through the requirement one by one, and we will solve these 3 requirements in this today video. So stay tuned. I know you guys are struggling. It's very unnatural. Don't panic because obviously when something new topic you are studying, it's obvious your mind will not take a full concept in the clarity, right? So you need to practice, have a patience and practice this kind of question. You will have a good clarity while practicing as much as question you can. Okay, so first requirement is our construct a payoff table to show all the possible profit outcomes and recommend the level of production Keystone company should choose based on the expected value. See, while reading the requirement, you should read at least 2 times. Why? Because there might be 1 or 2 requirement the question the examiner wants us to answer. So like in this question, one is to construct the payoff table and other is the recommendation part, right? So if you want to recommend, in that case you might lose few marks which has been assigned to this part of the requirement. Okay, so it's very important to reread the requirement, what the question is asking, right? All right, so now we will construct the payoff table, but for constructing the payoff table we need a few working. So we will first do the working, then we will arrange those working in the payoff table. So stay tuned. So this is very similar to the shifter haulage which we have done in the previous video. It's very similar, but let's do. So first of all, we have 2 things. One is the production and one is the demand. And the question asks to calculate the payoff table, right? So before going to the deep into the requirement, let's first understand why we are preparing the table. Why we use payoff table. So basically, this table summarizes all the possible outcome of the profit at different decisions. Like if we are producing 3000 and if demand is this much, how much profit we will earn. If we are producing this much, if our demand is this much, how much profit we will earn. Right, so we can easily compare which decision give us best result under the given condition, given situation, right? So it is very essential technique. So we will have a rough summary of the choice available and the profit we are generating. So we have 2 things, production and the demand, right? So I will write down here production and write down here demand. On the same column we can also write this. Okay, so our production is, we have 3 production. Yes, yes, the Keytone company must decide whether to manufacture 3000, 3500 or 4000 units. So we have 3 production, and again we have a 3 demand. That's a 3000, 3500 and 4000. So now 3 production, 3 demand, that means 3 and 9. So up to 9, let me spread this one. So up to 3000 production, suppose. So and our demand is 3000, and one is for 3500, and the other is 4000. So if we are producing the 3000, okay, so if we are producing 3000, so we have a different kind of demand, like one for 3000, one for 3500, one for 4000. Similarly, if we are producing the production 3500, again we will copy paste this demand. All right, and similarly for the 4000 as well, we will do this. Okay, so all together we will have, I think, 9. So I will copy paste this one. So if we have production 3000 and demand 3000, how much profit we will generate? We will calculate in today's video. So again for the 3000, but demand is this time 3500, and again production is 3000 but demand is 4000. So at different production level and different demand, how much profit we are earning, we will summarize in the PAYOFF table. So before that, we will do the calculation, then we will put the value in the table, right? So this is the production and the demand. So now, so if we are producing 3000 and but our demand is 3000, so how much unit we will sold? Obviously we will sell 3000. Similarly, if our production is 3000 but this time demand is 3500, so that means 500 additional unit cannot be fulfilled. Why? Because we are only able to produce 3000. So here we will sell 3000, right? So again we are producing 3000 but demand is 4000, so that means we will only able to sell 3000, not 4000, because we are producing the protein powder only 3000. Okay, so 1000 demands will remain unfulfilled. Now our production is 3500 but this time demand is 3000, that means that 500 will go waste, it have no scrap value, right? So we will sell only 3000 because the demand is only 3000, and here demand is 3500, and again we are producing 3500, so our selling quantity will be 3500. Here production is 3500 but demand is 4000, that means we will only able to sell 3500. So I'm just picking the minimum value, right? So here minimum value is 3000, here minimum value is 3500, and here 4000. Okay, so this is the actual quantity we sell. Okay, so time to keep the selling price. So selling price is given. Okay, so question mentioned that up to 3500 unit our selling price will be 35, but above that it will be 33. So up to here we are selling 3500 and less than 3500, so our selling price will be 35, but in the last we are selling out 4000, so our selling price will be 33, because the question itself mentioned this about these things, right? All right, so now it's time for the variable cost. So now I have calculated the sales value, revenue figure. All right. So let me make it small. Okay. So how I have calculated, just multiplying the units sold into the selling price. Okay. And then I have copy paste in the rest of the box. Okay. This is the sales. Okay. Sales or revenue. All right. Now we will total the variable cost. So how much is the variable cost? So we have 6.20, then we have 2.70, then again 1.35. Okay, so this much is the variable cost, and how much for how much quantity, how much unit this variable cost is being incurred? So 3000. We will take this production. We will not take here units sold, because sometimes the demand is lower than the production, right? So that's why we will take the production one figure, and yes, this is the total variable cost incurred for the producing 3000 unit. So as this is the cost, so I will keep the negative sign here. Okay, so this is variable cost, and I will drag and drop this formula in the rest of the box. So here is the variable cost. Okay, so variable cost will applicable on the production unit, not the demand, not the unit we sold. Okay. Now it's time for the inspection cost, because below the variable cost, in the below point, they also mention apart from the variable cost, there is inspection cost which will incur, and which is 240. And this 240 is not for the one unit, it's for the one batch. So here we need to figure out how many batch we are producing right now. So we are producing 3000 unit, and one batch have 500 unit. So that means we are producing six batch. Then we will multiply it by 240. Okay, so it's 1440 inspection cost incurred for the production of 3000, and we will drag and drop this formula in the rest of the box. So as this is again the cost, so that's why I have kept it in the negative. Now we have a selling and distribution cost as well. Now how much is the cost? So we will keep the equal to sign, then negative, then it's 0.9 unit for every unit sold. So now here in exam pressure or the time that's going over the screen, in the hurry student choose the production unit, but which is incorrect. Here we will choose the unit which we are actually selling out. Okay, and that's a 3000, not the production one. So because these costs are incurred in the unit which we are selling out, right? So that's why be careful while choosing the cell in the exam. So I have copy paste the formula for the rest of the box. So we got our selling and distribution cost as well. So do you think there is anything we left? No, every cost has been covered. So now it's time to calculate the profit. So I have calculated the profit, and how? Simply adding all these box. So this will give me the profit for the production having 3000 as well as demand having 3000 units. Okay, so this is the profit we have calculated. Now remember, they have attached the probability for the different level of demand. So now we will here write down the probability percentage based on the demand level given in the unit, right? So I have noted down here probability as well based on the demand level, right? So here we are having a demand of 3000, so probability will be 0.2, and for 3500 the probability will be 0.3, for 4000 probability will be 0.5. So now we will calculate simply we will multiply profit into probability percentage. So here's the figure I have done for you. So you can see I have multiplied profit into the probability percentage. Okay, so now we will calculate expected value. Okay, and for calculation of expected value, I have just taken the production unit 3000, sorry, for different demand level. Okay, so I have just added this three figure, and this give me expected value of 70,110. And similarly for the production unit 3500 at different demand, so I have just added these three value here, so that give me the expected value of 78,385. And then we have a 4000 production, so adding up this give the expected value of 77,545. so as this is the monetary value, so what you can do is just add comma and put the dollar sign. Yeah, now it's look more professional. Okay, so what do you think? out of this expected value, which one will generate the highest profit? It's 78,385. So what is the production unit? 3500. So we will go for 3500. So now question said you to recommend as well. If you remember the question now you have just done the calculation for the PF table. So now you have to recommend as well as present this calculation in the PF table format. So let me show you how. So this is how you can draw the PF table. So I'm showing how right now here. So I have just made one column for the production and one row for the demand, and let me bold it. Okay, yeah. So now for 3000 production and demand is 3000, then we will go 3000 production, demand is 3000. Our expected value is, profit is 14,022, and for production 3000, demand is 3500. Our profit is this much, and production 3000, demand 4000. Our profit is this much. All right. Okay, so let me copy paste this, then I will be come back to you again. Now production is 3500 and demand is 3000, so our profit is this. Production is 3500, demand is 3500, now profit is this much, and our production is 3500 but demand is 4000, then our profit is 4897. Now 4000 production but demand is 3000, we have a profit of this much, then this much, then this much. Now you can calculate the expected value here, or what you can do is you can write down expected value here. So expected value EV. Okay, so okay, so here I have calculated the expected value as well. So let me make the table. Yes, so it's now look like payoff table, right? So you can give the heading payoff table, so it's very clear, so good for examiner to mark, right? So yes, so we will make this bold and this as well. Yeah, so now out of this expected value, this one is giving the highest profit, so we will write down here highest profit. So we will go for the production of 3500 unit of protein power. So now this is for the first part of requirement A. You can see the question also asks you to recommend. Okay, so recommend that the level of production Keytone company should choose based on the expected value. So if you won't provide the recommendation, you will lose the marks, right? So now you have to say, so as our according to the expected value, the highest profit generated by the production of manufacturing of 3500 units, so Keystone company should go for 3500 production plan. Okay, so you can mention the recommendation like this. So you can just make a note here, recommendation. Now what you can do is you can write down here working. Okay, and just shift this working table the below. Let me zoom it one more time. So this will make your presentation more attractive. Okay, I will just copy and cut and paste it here in the working area and make it table. Alt H B. It's I think A. Yeah. Yes. This one is very good one. Yes. And now we can shift the PAYOFF table above. Yes. So now it's very good for the examiner to mark because your working is very clear, your presentation is very clear. So now you can make a heading of recommendation. Okay. So what you can write down, Keytone company should go for for 3500 units of manufacturing protein power. And now you have to mention the reason why. Because based on EV method or expected value method, 3500 production plan generate highest profit. Okay, highest weighted average profit. Yes, weighted average profit. So in this way you can I mean write down the recommendation. So we are done with the requirement 1. Now let's move toward the requirement B, and requirement B says calculate the maximum fee which Keytone company would be prepared to pay the market research company for the information about the actual demand. So alright, so this question this part of your requirements, previously we have done the A. In this part, question is asking regarding the value of profit information, right? So it is based on the value of profit informations, and you guys must be familiar with this concept, its formula and its calculation part. So all right, so whatever is the value of profit information, and that will be your maximum fee that Keytone company can prepare to pay the market research company. Okay, and what is the formula for the value of profit information? It's expected value with profit information minus expected value without profit information. So it's simply a difference between the expected value with profit information and expected value without profit information. See, in the part A, we calculated the expected value, and that was the expected value without profit information. Okay, so that was expected value without profit information. You can see we have highlighted our answer. So now we have to perform the calculation for the expected value with profit information. So if we know our demand is 3000, so how much would be the best profit? We will choose the best profit. See, our demand is 3000. Okay, let me make this small so that we can look for the profit part. Or let me hide it. It's best option. Okay, yeah. So again, not it's visible. So at demand 3000 we have a one profit of 70,000, and at demand 3000 we have a other profit of 64,745, and demand 3000 we again have a other profit of 59,380. So among these we will choose the best profit, the highest one, and the highest figure is 110. 70,110. So we will just copy it here, right? Yes. So now our demand is 3500. So at demand 3500, one of the profit is your 70,110, and other one is your 81,795, and other is your 76,430, and among these the highest is 81,795. So we will go with that. 81,795. Then we have a 4,000 demand. So at 4,000 demand, one profit is 70,110, other one is 81,795, and other one is 85,480. Okay, so we will go with 85,480 because it's the highest one. Okay, Now, we again have a probability attached. What is the probability? It's a 0.2, 0.3 and 0.4, and they all are in percentage. Okay, so now we will calculate the expected value. We will simply multiply these two. Yes, so now total of this will be your expected value with profit information. Expected value with profit information. Okay, so we will just sum up all this figure. Yes, so now difference of these two will be your maximum amount that company will be ready to pay. This one is 50%. Yeah. Yes, so now value of profit information is difference of these two. So this is the maximum amount that company is ready to pay. So we will write down the maximum amount is 2,950 that Keytone company will be prepared to pay the market research for the actual demand level. Just write a one sentence, all right? So this is quite easy part and it's only for the 3 marks. Now next part is briefly discuss whether it is appropriate for the managing director to use expected value as a basis for making the decision about the production level of protein power, and explain one alternative decision criteria which might be more useful. So this question is for only for the 4 marks, right? So here what you need to do is you need to just justify whether the expected value is the right approach or not in the both way, right? So expected value is simply the it's a weighted average of the profit, and in what situation we should use when you are risk neutral, you don't want to take the risks, right? But if you read the question carefully, they have mentioned that managing director is very risk averse and it's concerned that probability noted about may not be accurate. Okay, so as the manager is risk averse, it's better to go with the maxi-mean approach, right? Because manager is not risk neutral, manager is risk averse, so that's why manager should go for the maxi-mean, and using this approach decision maker looks at the lowest outcome at the each level and then pick up the level that will generate the highest result, right? So that's why this is how you can just write down for the C. Just start, it's only for the 4 marks. Just start stating that expected value is just your weighted average profit method, and it's not lead to the your actual decision making. So it's this technique is good for the one who don't want to take the risk, who is the risk neutral. But as mentioned in the scenario, the manager is risk averse, so in that case it question also asks you to state the alternative decision. So in that case the manager should use maximum mean approach for the decision making. You can write this for the part C. Okay, and one more thing, as I have mentioned in the start of the video regarding this scrap value, if you remember. So basically, if the question have mentioned that the this protein have a scrap value, in that case we need to take this figure while doing the calculation of the profit. But as they said, it's have no scrap value, so we don't need to worry about that. But if say it has the value, in that case we need to calculate how much unit is left unsold, and in that case we need to calculate the scrap value for that unsold unit. So it's very easy. The question question has clearly mentioned that it have no square value, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so we are done with this part. I hope you have a little bit clarity regarding how to go with the payoff table question. So basically there is no any specific format mentioned, but yes, you should present your answer in such a way so that it's easy for the examiner to mark or look for the information. As in my case, it's quite easy and clear, right? So it will be easy for the examiner to mark up. And one more thing, so this one is the examiner report, and for the same question, so examiner has mentioned the few comment regarding how the student have tackled these questions, and how they analyze the situations and the requirement. So everything has been mentioned in this report. I will suggest just to go with this at least once, so that you will have a what is right and what is wrong, and so that you will not go with the you will not perform the same mistake in the upcoming exam. So I will suggest you guys to go with this report at least once. So it's a very good one. Okay, so in case you have any confusion, do let me know. I will try my best to address your queries.